All right, so get ready because today we're diving into some seriously thought-provoking stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be checking out Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil.
Interesting.
But before you think we've gone full-on spooky, this isn't about like actual devils and demons and all that.
Okay.
It's more like this book, it uses this really unique way to talk about personal growth. It frames it like a battle.
A battle.
Against all that negativity and self-sabotage that we all deal with.
Right.
And it does it all through this super clever fictional conversation with the devil.
So like a metaphor.
Exactly. It's like a metaphor to help us understand all those tricky psychological forces.
Yeah, those things that hold us back.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
And the cool thing is, Hill, the guy who wrote this, he was like a huge name in the self-help world.
Oh, wow.
So his ideas, they're definitely worth exploring.
Yeah, for sure.
So the main idea here is that this devil character, he's all about controlling people's minds.
Oh, boy.
And he does it mainly through these two sneaky strategies.
Oh, really?
The first one is called the habit of drifting.
Okay.
And the second one is hypnotic rhythm.
Habit of drifting and hypnotic rhythm.
Yeah.
Let's break down that first one, that habit of drifting.
Right.
I bet our listeners are out there thinking like, wait, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Well, just imagine like someone just floating through life.
Okay.
No clear direction. They just let circumstances push them around.
Oh, I see.
Instead of like taking charge. You
Right.
know?
So they're not really in the driver's seat of their own life.
Exactly. That's what Hill calls a drifter.
Got it. So no goals, no plan. They're just kind of reacting to whatever comes their way.
Right.
Actually, that sounds kind of stressful.
It can be.
To just be like at the mercy of everything around you.
Yeah, and it makes you super vulnerable to being manipulated.
How so?
Well, because you're not consciously choosing your path.
You're just kind of going with the flow.
Exactly.
Okay, so in the book, the devil character,
Yeah.
he says he controls a whopping 98% of people this way.
Wow, 98%.
Yeah.
That's almost everybody.
I know, right? Now, whether that number is totally accurate or not,
Yeah.
the point is that a lot of us, we do fall into this trap of drifting, especially when it comes to learning and personal growth.
Right, we just kind of get stuck.
98%. That's insane. Okay, now I'm officially intrigued and maybe a tiny bit freaked out.
Well, don't worry.
Okay.
Because he gives us a roadmap
Oh, good.
to break free from that.
All right.
He outlines 7 principles to combat drifting
All right.
and regain control.
Ooh, 7 principles. I like it. Okay, so these principles, are they all about like becoming more...
Yeah, so it's all about self-awareness, being more proactive and intentional.
in our lives?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 principles. Let's dive into the first one,
Okay.
which is definiteness of purpose.
Definiteness of purpose.
Yeah, and this one, it really resonated with me. I gotta say,
Cool.
Hill uses this really powerful quote. He says, definiteness of purpose renders one immune to the fears with which I enslave people.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right, it's like, boom, as soon as you know what you want and where you're going,
Yeah.
the devil's like, oh, shoot, I lost my power over this person.
He can't get to you.
Exactly.
I love that.
So it's like having the shield against all that negativity that tries to drag us down.
Totally.
If you think about it practically, right?
Yeah.
If you're constantly unsure about what you want to achieve,
Yeah.
it's so easy to get sidetracked,
Oh, for sure.
to procrastinate,
Yeah.
to let other people's priorities just run your life.
You're not in control.
Yeah, and I've definitely been there. I think everyone has at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so how do we actually cultivate this definiteness of purpose?
Right.
Does it mean we need like our whole life planned out,
Yeah.
5-year plan and all that?
Not necessarily. I think it's more about setting those clear intentions for yourself, even if they're just small, achievable goals.
Right, little steps.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you, the listener,
Yeah.
you're trying to learn a new skill.
Okay.
Instead of just passively like consuming information.
Yeah, just reading about it.
Yeah, you could set a specific goal.
Like what?
Like, I want to be able to hold a basic conversation in Spanish within 3 months.
Okay, I like that. That's a good example.
Right.
So you have that clear objective.
Yeah.
Gives you something to focus on. A reason to push through those moments of doubt or procrastination.
You're right. You have a reason why.
Yeah. And once you have that definite purpose, it's much easier to break down that larger goal into smaller, manageable steps.
Or like bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. You can create a study plan, find resources, even connect with other learners to keep yourself motivated.
It's all about support.
It's like you're building a roadmap for your learning journey.
Yeah.
Instead of just wandering around aimlessly.
Exactly.
And know where you're going.
So it's not just about having like a big, ambitious goal.
It's about making it tangible.
Yeah.
Making it real. So you can actually start taking action towards it.
And that's how we make progress.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where the devil, or really those like negative voices in our minds.
Yeah, those pesky thoughts.
They start to lose their grip. Because when we're clear about what we want.
Right.
And we're actively pursuing it.
Yeah, you're taking action.
There's just less room for doubt. Fear, procrastination to like creep in.
You're too busy moving forward.
I'm loving this already.
Yeah.
It's like we're taking back control.
Yes.
Becoming the captain of our own ship.
Steering the ship.
Instead of letting the wind blow us wherever it wants.
You got it.
And speaking of forces that can influence us.
Okay.
Let's move on to this other really intriguing concept.
Okay.
That Hill talks about.
Right.
Hypnotic rhythm.
Hypnotic rhythm.
Now this one sounds kind of mysterious, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, yeah.
Like what is this hypnotic rhythm?
Okay, so imagine like a river current. If you just let yourself drift along with it, you'll end up wherever the current takes you.
Right.
Not necessarily where you want to go.
I see.
That's kind of how hypnotic rhythm works in our lives.
Okay, so it's like this underlying force.
Yeah.
That shapes our reality, but we don't always realize it's there.
Right. It's working behind the scenes.
Influencing us.
Yeah.
So hypnotic rhythm is basically this idea that our dominant thoughts and habits, they become our reality.
Powerful stuff.
So what we focus on, what we believe, what we do repeatedly, it all creates this kind of momentum that can either like propel us forward or keep us stuck in a rut.
Totally depends on what you're focused on.
So if we're constantly focusing on our fears or doubts, our limitations, that's what hypnotic rhythm will amplify in our lives.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Oh, no.
But there's a flip side.
Oh, good. Okay.
It also works with positive thoughts and beliefs.
Okay.
So if we can shift our focus to our goals, our strength, the things we're grateful for, then hypnotic rhythm becomes a powerful tool for achieving success and fulfillment.
I like that. It's like we have this hidden superpower within us.
We do.
But we need to learn how to like harness it.
Yes.
How to direct its energy toward what we actually want to create.
That's the key.
In our lives.
Exactly.
This is starting to feel a lot like the law of attraction, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where what you focus on is what you would attract into your reality.
There are definitely some parallels there. Yeah. And what's fascinating is, according to the book, even the devil character admits that he can't escape this law of hypnotic rhythm.
Seriously?
He says it's like a universal principle.
Wow.
That governs all things.
Hold on. Even the devil has to follow the rules.
Yeah, okay, really.
This is getting seriously mind-blowing.
It is.
It really highlights just how fundamental this principle is.
For sure.
So it suggests that we all have this incredible capacity to shape our reality. Yeah. But we need to be aware of the thoughts and beliefs we're feeding into that process.
It all starts with awareness.
So true.
Yeah.
And that brings us to one of the most insightful aspects of Hill's work.
Okay.
The connection between hypnotic rhythm and our environment.
Our environment.
You mean like the people we surround ourselves with?
Yeah.
The places we spend our time?
Exactly. Hill argues that our environment plays a huge role in shaping our thoughts, our beliefs, and ultimately our reality.
So it's not just what's going on in our heads.
Right. It's also what's happening around us.
It's the whole picture.
Exactly. So think about it.
Okay.
The people we interact with, the books we read, the media we consume, it all feeds into our subconscious.
Interesting.
And influences how we see the world.
So our environment can either like reinforce our positive beliefs and habits or feed our negative ones.
It goes both ways.
Depending on what we're exposing ourselves to.
Exactly.
So it's like we're choosing which garden we want to tend to.
I like that analogy.
The positive one or the negative one.
Yeah.
And whichever one we're giving more attention to is the one that's going to flourish.
Precisely. And that's how the devil character operates in the book.
Really?
He surrounds people with negativity.
Oh, boy.
People who doubt them with situations that reinforce their fears. Because he knows that all of that will contribute to their hypnotic rhythm and keep them trapped in a cycle of negativity.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of a scary thought.
It is.
But it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If you're constantly surrounded by people who are just negative and pessimistic.
Right.
It's going to be tough to maintain a positive mindset.
For sure.
And focus on your goals.
It's like swimming upstream.
Totally. But the good news is...
Okay, tell me the good news.
We have more control over our environment
Where?
than we often realize.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, though.
I know, right? But we can choose to spend time with people who inspire us.
Who believe in us, who support our growth.
It's all about having that support system.
Yes. We can choose to fill our minds with positive and uplifting information.
Right. Choosing what we consume.
And we can create spaces that feel safe and conducive to our goals.
Our little sanctuaries.
I love that. So it's not just about controlling our thoughts.
Right.
It's about creating this supportive ecosystem for ourselves.
Yes.
Both internally and externally. That helps us to stay on track.
Yeah.
And achieve what we want.
It all works together.
I'm starting to see how all these principles are connecting with each other.
Me too.
They're all part of the bigger picture.
Exactly.
And Hill's work, it really emphasizes the importance of taking ownership of our environment, our influences, and ultimately our destiny.
It's outwitting stuff.
It is, because while we may not be able to control everything that happens to us,
True.
we can certainly control how we respond to it.
For sure.
And what we choose to focus on.
And that makes all the difference. This is already so empowering. We've only just scratched the surface of these 7 principles. And I'm already feeling inspired to take a closer look at my own life.
Yeah.
My goals and the influences that might be holding me back.
It's a good exercise for everyone.
All right, listeners, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
But stay tuned, because in the next part of our deep dive, we'll be exploring the remaining 6 principles in more detail, along with some practical tips on how you can apply these insights to your own life and your own learning journey.
Can't wait.
Welcome back, you guys.
Back for more.
I'm still kind of buzzing from that first part of our deep dive into Outwitting the Devil.
It's a good one.
That whole hypnotic rhythm thing.
Right.
It's really making me think about all those messages I'm absorbing every day.
It's eye-opening, isn't it?
Totally. It makes you realize how much power our thoughts and beliefs have in shaping our reality.
Just for real.
Okay, so we covered the first principle.
Definiteness of purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how crucial it is to have that clear direction.
Right. Gotta know where you're going.
In life.
Yeah.
But Hill outlined 6 more.
Right? Yeah.
We got 6 more to go.
Where do we go from here?
Well, let's tackle mastering self next.
Mastering self.
Yeah. This one gets pretty personal because it's all about self-discipline and controlling our impulses.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to things like food sex.
Okay.
And even expressing our opinions.
Right. The devil in the book is advocating for restraint. In those areas?
Yeah.
That's kind of unexpected.
I know, right?
Given his whole reputation for temptation and chaos.
You'd think he'd be all about indulgence.
Right.
But actually his point is that overindulgence in any of those areas can weaken our willpower, cloud our judgment.
I see.
And ultimately make us more susceptible to manipulation.
So it's like if you're constantly giving in to every craving or impulse.
You're not really in control of your own life.
See, exactly. You're letting those desires control you.
Right.
Instead of the other way around.
So mastering self is about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Becoming aware of those impulses and making conscious choices that align with our goals.
Exactly.
So it's about not letting those desires control us.
Right.
But rather us controlling them.
That's the key.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
And one that's particularly relevant today.
Yeah, I think so.
With all the distractions and temptations around us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But what about that part about controlling our opinions?
Oh, yeah. That's an interesting one.
That one really surprised me.
It's one of the most interesting and maybe controversial aspects of this principle.
So Hill threw the devil character. He argues that we should be careful about expressing our opinions too freely.
Especially when they're not asked for.
But isn't speaking your mind important? Don't we want to encourage, open and honest communication?
Of course we do.
So how does that work?
Well, Hill's point is that unsolicited opinions, they can often create unnecessary conflict, damage relationships.
I see.
And ultimately hinder our progress.
So it's not about, suppressing our thoughts.
Right.
Or censoring ourselves.
No, not at all.
But being strategic about how and when we share those opinions.
Yeah, choosing our battles wisely.
Exactly.
It's a good way to put it.
And it ties back to that idea of self-mastery, of being in control of our impulses and our actions.
Right. Sometimes silence can be more powerful than words.
That's a great perspective.
Thanks.
It reminds me of that saying.
Yeah.
Think before you speak.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment and say things we later regret.
We've all been there.
Right. And Hill even goes so far as to caution against writing uninvited letters.
Oh, wow.
Which might seem a bit outdated in today's digital world.
Right. Nobody writes letters anymore.
But the underlying message, it still holds true.
It does.
It's about being mindful of our communication.
Yeah.
And understanding that sometimes less is more.
Sometimes it's best to just listen.
Okay. I'm starting to see the wisdom in that. It's about picking our moments to speak up rather than just reacting to everything.
Being intentional.
Right. It's interesting how this one principle, mastering self, can touch on so many different aspects of our lives.
It really does. It's pretty comprehensive.
Okay, so we've talked about mastering self. Now let's move on to another key principle.
Okay.
Learning from adversity.
Learning from adversity.
This one is all about resilience.
Yeah.
About turning setbacks into opportunities.
That's the key.
This is such an important one.
It is.
Especially for anyone on a learning journey.
Right.
We all face challenges and setbacks.
It's part of the process.
But it's how we respond to them that truly matters.
That's what defines us.
It's exactly Hill again, speaking through the devil.
Yeah.
He points out that most people, they give up too easily when they encounter obstacles.
They hit a roadblock and they're like, that's it, I'm done.
They mistake temporary defeat for permanent failure.
Right, they throw in the towel.
And that's where the devil really thrives.
Oh, yeah, he loves that.
Feeding on our discouragement and self-doubt.
He's like, yes, more for me.
That's where that habit of drifting can really take hold, right?
Exactly.
We hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
Feel defeated. And just give up on our goals altogether.
We lose momentum.
That's the danger.
It is.
But Hill argues that failure is never final. Unless we choose to see it that way.
It's a matter of perspective.
So true. It's an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
To adjust our course. To come back stronger and wiser.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
It's like that saying.
What's that?
Fall 7 times, stand up 8.
I like that one.
It's not about avoiding failure, but learning to navigate it.
Yeah.
To extract the lessons it holds.
Failure is a great teacher.
And Hills even suggests.
What's that?
That failure can be a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise.
Because it forces us to break free from negative thought patterns and habits.
Interesting.
It disrupts our hypnotic rhythm.
I see.
And gives us a chance to create a new, more positive reality.
So it's like a reset button.
Yeah.
A chance to reevaluate our goals, our strategies, and maybe even discover hidden strengths and talents we didn't know we had.
This is starting to sound less like outwitting the devil. And more like embracing the devil.
Yeah.
Or befriending the devil.
Making friends with the devil.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of that.
It's about recognizing that challenges and setbacks, they're an inevitable part of life.
They are. We can't avoid them.
But they don't have to define us.
Right.
It's how we choose to respond to them
that
shapes our character and determines our ultimate success.
It's all about our choices.
Love that perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about mastering self.
Yeah.
And learning from adversity.
2 powerful principles.
What's next on our list of loose principles?
Okay, so next up, we have controlling environmental influence.
Controlling environmental influence.
This builds on what we were discussing earlier about the impact our surroundings can have on our thoughts and behaviors.
Okay, so we talked about how the devil in the book intentionally surrounds people with negativity, with people and situations that reinforce their fears and doubts.
Yeah, he's sneaky like that.
But as we also discussed, we have more power than we might realize.
They do.
To choose our own mental and emotional environment.
It's about taking back control.
So this principle is about being proactive.
Yeah.
About consciously creating a space for ourselves that supports our growth and well-being.
Building that positive ecosystem.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about being mindful of the people we spend time with.
Yeah.
The information we consume, the physical spaces we inhabit.
It's the whole picture.
Are they uplifting and empowering?
Yeah.
Or are they draining our energy and reinforcing our negative beliefs?
It's important to pay attention to how we feel.
This makes me think about social media.
Oh, yeah.
Which can be such a mixed bag.
Can be.
It can be a great way to connect with people and learn new things.
Sure.
But it can also be a breeding ground for negativity, comparison, and self-doubt.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to get sucked into that.
So controlling environmental influence is about being selective, about curating our online and offline experiences.
Being intentional about what we expose ourselves to.
To align with our values and goals.
Exactly.
So if you're trying to learn a new skill or build a new habit, it's important to surround yourself with people who are supportive, who believe in you, who are maybe even on a similar journey themselves.
Having that support system is so important.
And it's also about being mindful of the messages we're absorbing.
Yeah.
Are we reading books and articles that inspire us and expand our knowledge? Or are we constantly bombarded with negativity and sensationalism?
It's about choosing quality over quantity.
It's like we're the architects of our own mental and emotional landscapes.
I love that.
And we have the power to choose what we allow in and what we keep out.
Building those strong boundaries.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
Okay, we are back for the final part of our deep dive.
The grand finale.
Into Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil.
I'm excited.
Me too. And honestly, this whole conversation, it's really shifted my perspective on personal growth and the power of our own minds.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is Hill's work, even though it's got this like unconventional approach.
Right, with the whole devil thing.
Yeah, it offers some really profound insights.
It does.
Into how we can overcome those internal obstacles.
Those inner devils.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that are always holding us back.
They're sneaky.
Okay, so we've covered 4 of the 7 principles so far.
Right. Definiteness of purpose mastering self.
Yes.
Learning from adversity. And controlling environmental influence.
What are the remaining 3?
Okay, so the next one is accurate thinking.
Accurate thinking.
This one is all about developing a clear, rational, and unbiased approach to like processing information and making decisions.
So it's about not letting our emotions cloud our judgment.
Exactly. Hill argues that a lot of our problems, they stem from faulty thinking.
Interesting.
From letting our emotions and biases just totally cloud our judgment.
So it's about stepping back, taking a more objective view.
Yeah.
And really questioning our assumptions.
Like a mental detox.
I like that.
Clearing out all the junk.
So we can see things more clearly.
Exactly. It's about learning to separate facts from opinions.
Okay.
To identify our own biases and to develop a more critical and analytical approach to problem solving.
I could see how that would be so crucial in any learning process.
Oh, for sure.
Especially when we're trying to absorb new information.
Right.
And make sense of complex ideas.
It's easy to get caught up in our own preconceived notions.
Yeah. We think we know everything.
And then we miss the bigger picture.
Totally. And accurate thinking, it challenges us to constantly question our own assumptions, to seek out different perspectives.
Right.
And to be willing to adjust our thinking as we learn and grow.
It's all about being open-minded.
It's like that saying, the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's about approaching every situation with a beginner's mind.
Yeah.
With a willingness to learn and to be proven wrong.
That's how we grow.
Okay, so that's accurate thinking. What's the next principle?
Okay, so this one is called cosmic habit force.
Cosmic habit force.
This might sound a little out there, but it's actually based on a very simple idea.
All right, I'm listening.
The idea that energy flows where attention goes.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Hill believed that there's this universal energy, like a creative force that permeates all things.
Right.
And this force, it responds to our thoughts, our beliefs, and our intentions.
So if we're constantly focused on negative thoughts,
fears, doubts,
we're basically attracting more of that negativity into our lives.
Exactly, like attracts like.
But if we can shift our focus to positive thoughts, beliefs, and aspirations, we can tap into this cosmic habit force and align ourselves with a more positive and abundant reality.
It's about raising our vibration.
This is reminding me of that hypnotic rhythm concept.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's like these principles, they're all interconnected, building on each other.
It's a beautiful system.
And cosmic habit force, it adds another layer to that understanding. It suggests that we're not just passive recipients of whatever life throws our way.
We're not just victims.
but active participants in shaping our own reality.
I have the power.
We have the power to choose what we focus on.
Yes.
What we believe and what we create.
It's all about choice.
It's like we're all little magnets.
Haha, I love that.
Attracting the energy that aligns with our dominant thoughts and beliefs.
So true.
So if we want to change our reality,
yeah,
we need to start by changing our internal frequency.
Exactly. It all starts within.
Okay, last principle.
Okay, this one's called applied faith.
Applied faith.
Now, when Hill talks about faith, he's not necessarily talking about religious faith.
Okay.
He's talking about a deep and unwavering belief in ourselves, in our abilities, and in the power of our intentions to create the life we desire.
So it's about having that unshakable conviction.
Yes.
That we can achieve what we set out to do, even when we face challenges and setbacks.
It's about believing in ourselves.
It's about trusting in our own potential.
Yeah.
In our own inner guidance, and in the support of something greater than ourselves.
Right.
Whether that's a higher power of the universe or just the collective consciousness of humanity.
Whatever resonates with you.
It's about having that inner knowing.
Yes.
That we're not alone, that we have the strength and the resilience to overcome any obstacle.
Powerful beyond measure.
And that we're capable of creating something truly remarkable with our lives.
I love that.
Applied faith. It's the culmination of all the other principles.
It is.
It's about taking all that knowledge, all those insights,
yeah,
and putting them into action.
Walking the walk.
It's about believing in ourselves and in the power of our dreams, and then taking those bold, courageous steps to make them a reality.
That's how we make our dreams come true.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We've gone from outwitting the devil to mastering our own minds, harnessing the power of hypnotic rhythm, and ultimately aligning ourselves with a more positive and fulfilling reality.
What a journey.
What a journey. And the beauty of Hill's work is that it's timeless.
It really is.
These principles, even though they're framed within this conversation with the devil, they're just as relevant and applicable today as they were when the book was first published.
It's a classic for a reason.
Listeners, we hope this deep dive has inspired you to take a closer look at your own thoughts, beliefs, and habits.
It's a worthwhile exercise.
And to consider how you can apply these principles to your own life and learning journey.
Make them your own.
Remember the power to outwit the devil.
Yeah.
The power to overcome any obstacle. It lies within each of us.
We have the power.
It's a matter of tapping into that power, cultivating it, and using it to create the life we truly desire.
It's all within reach.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to explore.
Until then.
Keep learning, keep growing,
and
keep pushing the boundaries of your own potential.